earlier in the program in hour number 1, we talked about Marcus Stroman and what direction the Chicago Cubs might be leaning in regards to Marcus Stroman. Is he available? The same, too, could be said for Cody Bellinger. If they want to go down that route, he could be a valuable piece for a playoff contender.
Yeah, you know what? No doubt, right?
And the defense is just as good as the offense.
It is, man. I think the biggest thing, and you do a great job of breaking down certain dudes and getting them back with Dr. D-Row. It's pretty it's pretty solid because some cats make drastic changes.
Yeah.
A lot of them, right?
You've seen that this year.
Leg
kicks to toe taps, spread out, all different stuff.
Cody hasn't done anything different. It's here. And you have to dive in, and if you look at Baseball Savant, it'll give you a lot of why guys struggle. Chase rate is up, swing and misses is up. He's gotten back to just understanding that if he can just get comfortable with the violent swing and still be under control and not worry about striking out, he can then bounce back. That's what good players do. You lose it somehow or another. He dealt with the injury, D-Row. He had the shoulder, the separated shoulder back in 2020. And it derailed him from getting to his mechanics and doing. Now, this is what I'm talking about. If you have to really look hard to figure out, and keep it here for a minute, fellas. Look really hard to try to figure out what's different. Maybe turn a little. I mean, you have to dissect it a lot. Not a lot has changed.
The only thing I notice is he looks leaner.
He might look leaner, right? On the right. So
standing exactly.
So roll this, and this stand is exact the same. Bats the same. I think the mind is just a lot better. And why I'm going to lefties first, because he's playing every day against lefties. Right? So when you look at what Rossi's doing, he's leaving him alone. He's in there every day. It's not about homers. It's about gap to gap, stand on fastballs away, and 94 up and in, he's hitting you in the seats.
And Cliff, here's the thing. We talk so much. We try and teach the young kids back at home, and we'll get into this in a second. You talk about wanting to get something going back.
Right.
He doesn't do that at all. He's static this way.
And I saw it in spring training, and I thought, there's no way you can hit like that, bro. I watched him a lot. I was there for 2 weeks, and I'm like, ain't no way. But when you start thinking about the mental side of this, when you start thinking about plate discipline, when you look at the numbers, this right here should be right? You should be able to hit the fastball in the big leagues. This right here is where you go, wait a minute. This has made me understand that he's back. Because when you hitting the fastballs, the adjustments then is real quick, is now you have pitchers going, wait a minute, we got to pay attention to this guy. And now we can't just, throw fastballs in because he's hitting those. We got to go to the off speed. Boy, he's hitting that too.
Do you feel that helps facing left on left because you're seeing that slider? Slider,
but the shoulder's not leaving.
Yeah.
And now he has that swag back where he's coming out the box when he's clicking you. It's like, I'm not sure. No, it's very sure, right? The bat head is going from A to B. He's not dealing with the shoulder. And I just believe that when you talk about non-fastballs, D, it's not just the change-up, split. It's everything. Yeah. It's the curveballs he's fouling off to get back into account. It's the pitches that he's catching on the edges that just are right off the edge, but he's swinging at it and knocking into left center gap. So the confidence is back, and I think for the league, it should be scary to see him. Now, look, we don't know what's going to happen with this whole trade deadline.
Well, that's what I'm saying. As I'm sitting here listening to you, Stroman wants to stay.
Yeah.
I'm sure Cody Bellinger wants to stay.
I don't know where they're going to go with this because they have a youngster in P. Crow Armstrong coming that's down in AAA. He's coming. Then you have Matt Mervis, who's coming to play first base at some point. Jared Young has been over there at first base. So they have some options. I don't know where you put them. You have Ian Happ and Suzuki signed. I just don't know where you go with it, right? Yeah. Unless you just figure out maybe one of those are trade
They
base.
don't have a guy in that lineup, with no disrespect. Cody's won MVP.
Yeah.
He's hit 40 plus.
He has the clout.
And you might be able to get him an MVP resurgence for 50 cents on the dollar.
Right.
I
feel
just saying, they're handing out $300 million. I don't think he's in that stratosphere.
No,
right now.
but if you have to be careful with going somewhere and then feeling that heat again. I'm not saying he can't deal with the heat. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, do you want to do it? Do you want to? This is comfortable. The fans love him. He's balling. You know, you're going to catch a few balls that you off the end of the bat in Cincinnati and Milwaukee that go out the ballpark.
Yes, you are.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, man, I'm comfortable. Let it ride. And I'm just happy to see him back smiling, having a good time, and doing this thing in the middle of the order.